Yes, team, and welcome back to the channel. So, we are currently 12 days out from the first competition, which I'm excited for. 12 days out from the first one, then we're competing the week after, and I think the last show will probably be June the 17th, but we'll see. We'll see what the crack is. But I'm feeling it absolutely ruined, to be fair. Energy's low, legs are heavy, body feels heavy. But it's crunch time. These are the days that matter the most, when it gets hard. What do you do? Do you follow the plan, or do you sit, do you moan, do you go off plan and not get the result? For me, it's always get the plan. Embrace the uncomfort, get comfortable being uncomfortable. So fat loss is a phase. Before we know it, bodybuilding, the competition will be done, and then I can have a little bit more flexibility, some more food going in. But I want to know that I've done everything in my power and everything that I possibly can to achieve the best look that I will bring, which it's hard. It takes a shit ton of discipline, a shit ton of focus, but we get it done. We get it done every day. We make sure that we get the non-negotiables ticked off. But plan of action for this week. So it's currently Monday. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be trialing like a peak week this week now, because I'll be on stage next Saturday. So what we need to do is we need to gather data. And what I mean by that is finding my best look and making sure that we're not guessing coming into next Saturday. So essentially it's depletion day one. So depletion day one, where we're going to be on lower calories today and tomorrow. It's a rest day today. So food is going to be at 2,500 calories. I'll take you through my meals as well. So 2,500 calories, 218 protein, 290 carbs, 60 fat. Now, this is all relative, right? Like, to some people, that's a lot of food. To me, that is nothing. That is low food. Bearing in mind, when I was doing my off season, I was over 5k calories. So that's low food for me. I'm gonna feel it. First meal coming up today is eggs and mushrooms. So 2 eggs, 100 grams of mushrooms. But what we're essentially doing is we're going to do 2 low days. So non-training day today, 2,500. There'll be a training day tomorrow, which will be 2,800. But what we're going to do is we're going to drive fat loss fairly hard over the next couple of days. And then we're going to trial a peak week. So Wednesday, higher food. Thursday, higher food. Friday, higher food. And then like a Saturday morning sort of meal structure to replicate how I will be on stage. I'll be on stage around midday. What I don't want is to have like a heavy meal that sits heavy on my stomach, abs are blown, getting on stage, struggling to contract the abs, or like a film of water there. So we need to gather data this week on what is going to sit well, essentially. So I'm looking forward to Wednesday with more food going in. But I weighed this morning, 91 kilo on the money. Body weight hasn't moved since April. We're now in June. I started this prep at 97 kilo. I'm 91 now. So I'm only 6 kilo down. Last prep, I lost 17 kilo, whereas this prep, I've lost 6. But the visuals are far different. When you've got things like anabolics in, obviously that will play a part as well. But I'm feeling good in terms of how I'm looking. Obviously, you always doubt yourself. You always think, am I going to be lean enough? Am I going to look good enough? But I've had some good feedback from people who I do take a lot of value from their opinion, and they're just like, mate, don't worry, don't stress. The most important thing is keeping stress low over these next couple of weeks now, which is what I'm going to try and do to the best of my ability. So I'll take you through a full day of eating, what I'm having on the lower calories. We've got a busy day today. Mondays are always carnage. Mondays are very busy. We've powered through a load of check-ins this morning. So a lot of check-ins done. About to go into meal one. We've got 2 calls this afternoon, or should I say this evening, 4 and 6. new setup to do. Got cardio to do, going to do some posing as well, 10k steps. But we get it done. Routine yields success. The better the routine, the better the results. So we're on track. We're not chasing our tail today. Going to get meal one prep now, which I would have shown you guys before anyway. But we have 2 eggs. So we got 2 eggs. We've got 100 grams of mushrooms in this bowl. We're going to fry this off. We're going to put 1.1 or 1.5 grams of salt in this meal. I think it's 1 gram actually. Let's have a quick look. So salt intake. We have 1 gram of salt. So as you can see, I've got for my meals how much salt to be putting in. We've got 1 gram of salt to go in this meal, and I'll show you it when it is cooked. And that is first meal coming up. So I'll pop a photo on the screen of what this meal is. 0 carbs. 2 eggs, 100 grams of mushrooms, and then what I'll also do is I'll put 10 grams of Tabasco sriracha sauce on, which I'm loving at the minute. So 10 grams of this. We're going to dig into this meal. Calorie breakdown for the meal is going to be 162 calories, 15 gram of protein, 3 gram of carbohydrates, and then 10 grams of dietary fat. So not the most appealing meal, but it does taste unreal. So I'm going to have this, get back into some check-ins, and then we go into meal 2. So let's get it done, guys. Low energy today. You're going to have to bear with me. Feeling fried, sleep still in the fucking bin. But I want to bring you guys along the journey. Show you the highs, but also show you the lows. Not every day you're going to feel amazing. But regardless, we get shit done. Eggs and mushrooms eaten, and that went down way too quick. I like to try and make my meals last longer. Like for example, my chicken and rice, I'll have with a small spoon. My cream of rice, I'll have with a small spoon, just because it takes that little bit longer for the meal to eat. But them eggs and mushrooms went down in about 60 seconds. Which is not ideal because I got another couple of hours until my next meal. But what I always do, and I don't let the standards drop with, is going for a 10-minute walk after each meal. And the reason being is it'll help with insulin sensitivity, it'll help digestion. So the good thing is I got this walking pad, which, as you guys know if you've been watching the YouTubes, this is where I get all my steps done essentially. So I'm gonna have a 10-minute walk. I've got my phone in front of me here on the tripod, where I'll just stick on a little bit of YouTube just to make the time go a bit quicker, reply to a few WhatsApps, and then we get into the next block of check-ins. So we're about 2.5 litres of fluid in, 1 meal in, supplements taken, fair few check-ins done. We're off to a good start. But what I'll do, guys, is I'll show you my next meal, which I'm looking forward to, very much looking forward to already. And I've only just finished my first meal. What I thought I'd briefly touch on there, I'm just going through some check-ins now. And one of the lads that is working with myself, Gareth, he's only been with me for a week, but he had a night away. He had a work event that he had to go away for, a meeting up in London. But nutrition has been 100%. He has not deviated away from the plan. We're down 2 kilo in body weight as a byproduct, and that is with traveling, going up to London, and also being up in London itself. And like he's mentioned at the bottom here, normally I would eat in services, but prepped all my meals and stored in an ice bag. And this is the thing, it can be so easy to stay on track if you just actually want to. Like I said to Gareth in his feedback there as well, like, actions have to align with the goals. So many people can say, I want to achieve X, I want to achieve Y, I want to get the body fat off. But as soon as something pops up that throws them out of routine, they hit the fucking button. Nutrition goes out the window. They eat in the services, they end up having a Burger King, whatever it may be. But if you want to stay on track with your goals, you want to see the progress that you're looking to achieve, then your actions have to align, and Gareth's actions have aligned superbly well. And we've had a solid week of moving forward. So just a quick point on what I want to make here is, just because things can pop up, life is going to get in the way sometimes. There is going to be events, but there's always going to be solutions. There's excuses and there's solutions. If you want to get the result, you have to find the solution. Gareth was working away, had to go up to London, stay overnight, travel back the following day. So he prepped his food for the day, prepped his food for the following day, stayed on track, dropped 2 kilo. Actions are in line with the goals. He's moved forward. We're going to get a world-class result. So I'm buzzing with that check-in, to be fair, because a lot of people can find the excuses and then wonder why they're not seeing the progress that they're after. Find the solutions. Right then, team, it is now 10 o'clock. So that means it's time for our second meal, which is definitely my favourite one. And if you've been watching the YouTubes, you'll know what one it is. We have cream of rice that I made last night. I stuck in the fridge, and cream of rice cold is the best. If you're dieting down, get cream of rice in your plan, get it nice and cold. I also put the whey drip in there cold as well. So I make that, but it does go very thick. So you just have to add a little bit more water. But this meal is going to consist of 100 grams of cream of rice. We've got 2 grams of pink salt in this meal as well. 150 grams of berries, which I use the blueberries. 45 grams of whey, which is what is in this mug by here. And then we've got 10 grams of honey, and dietary fats have been pulled down slightly. We've got 15 grams of almond butter. It says dark chocolate. I have almond butter. Calories are the exact same. So what I'll do is I'll make this meal and then I'll put a photo of the meal on the screen, which you're going to like the look of. What the cream of rice that I'm using as well at the minute, I say at the minute, I've got a few on the go, but I'm using Conte Sports triple chocolate, but my go-to one is the cookie dough by Supplement Needs, but I've got a bit left of this one, so I'm just like, right, let's use it up. But my last meal is going to be the cookie dough one, so I'm going to make this meal and I'll show you guys the finished product. And here we have the finished product. Cream of rice bowl. You cannot beat. You cannot beat. And it was funny because I was speaking to Ben when I was having my in-person session with him over the weekend. And we were talking about how crazy food focused you can get when you are dieting down and just massively restricting yourself for an extended period of time. And I said to him, when it comes to finishing prep, a lot of people can ask me, oh, what are you looking forward to the most? What are you looking forward to eating? Don't get me wrong, I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to have some nice treats. I'm going to be going out for a nice meal with my missus. She's coming down on Thursday, by the way, which I'm buzzing for. I can't wait for her to come down. But yeah, of course, we're going to go out for some nice food. We're going to enjoy some nice treats. But I'm telling you now, if someone to say to me, right, you can have whatever meal you want and it's not going to impact anything, get me a big fat bowl of cream of rice, 200 grams of cream of rice, bit more berries, 40 grams of honey, 60 grams of whey, and 70 grams of almond butter. That for me would be absolutely unbelievable. I would much rather this, but more of it, more almond butter than a Five Guys. Probably sounds a bit fucking mad, but that is the God's honest truth. But I'm going to have this now. Got a podcast on YouTube, which I always like to listen to because I can further my education whilst eating. And then we crack on with some more check-ins before we go and do my cardio. So as we were finishing that cream of rice meal, we had a knock on the door and supplements have been delivered. What do we have? So we've got creatine, trained by JP, 200 servings. That is a big bag, to be fair. Big bag of creatine in. Even if you're not training, you should still be taking your creatine. Training days and non-training days, make sure that you're getting at least 5 grams in daily. And we also have also have vitamin C, which I am going to need on peak week. So vitamin C and creatine's in. I had another order as well come through, Gymshark, a top. I fancy getting a new top. So we've got a new Gymshark top in. So what we'll do now, we'll get into the next block of work and then we'll go and do cardio. But for all your supplements as well, Full Bore Sports, use the code TY10 and you'll save money off. It's gym time. So we've just pulled up at the gym now. Got 30 minutes of cardio to do. Pause in. So we've just rocked up to the gym now, just pulled up, got 30 minutes of cardio to do and then pausing rounds. But what I'm going to do, like I said at the start of the video, I'm going to do light arms, 20 minutes, half hour, arms, abs, get some blood flow, then do the pausing so I can send it over to Ben in case. Then I'll do the cardio, I'll probably box off a 10-minute walk and then we get back to the apartment. We get back to the house, shower, into an afternoon and evening of work. So very productive morning, feeling good, feeling a bit more awake from this morning. But with 2 meals in, we've got 3 left. They're all prepped and ready to go. But first of all, let's get this cardio wrapped up. Yes team, that is cardio done. So 20 minutes of arms and abs, just a quick little pump, done some posing and then wrapped up cardio. But I was having a look at the posing videos and honestly, like, I'm not happy with them at all, to be fair. I'm just having a look at them again now. I'll put them on the screen, I'll put them on like the left hand side here, but I'm just so fucking flat. So flat. And this is the thing, like, it's in my head massively, but like I'm struggling to get my abs on. I am that flat, you know, just like contracting my abs in the front shot is just non-existent, man, non-existent. But this is the thing, like this is where I need to be essentially, you know, I need to be flat, ready to then fill towards the back end of the week, and more than likely towards the end of the week, well, we should definitely be a lot fuller, you know. But loading Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, see how I look on Saturday. But because it's so close to show now, I'm just like in my head about everything, you know. If something's not looking the way that I want it to now, I'm like, fuck, we're way behind, you know. But at the end of the day, I need to look ready a week Saturday. I don't need to look ready now. You know, I don't need to look ready now and hold the look. We want to peak perfectly for Saturday and have me looking my best on Saturday, not looking my best on a random Monday just training arms in the gym. So I need to remember that as well, you know. And also, like, when I do my videos and photos, just do them, send them to Ben, send them to Case, and then just don't even look at them, because I'll just get in my head too much. So I'm not going to look at them again until I put them on the YouTube. Send them to Ben, send them to Case, see what their thoughts are. But it's time we get home. I need to go to Co-op to get a bottle of water, and then we go back, shower, into work and into the next meal. Right, so we are back. So back in the house, jumped in the shower, got nice and fresh, got nice and clean. There's no better feeling than when you're sweaty, coming home, jumping in a warm shower and getting on some nice clean clothes. But we've come down, Leon's onboarded, so he's set up, he's had his onboarding video, walking through all his plans, walking through the vision, and walking through the standard that I hold people to get the results. You know, the results that we get are a fucking joke, but it's because of the standard that I hold everyone to, you know, and the standard that they hold themselves to as well. You know, like, it's not just me, it's a partnership, you know. So I was communicating that with him, letting him know, like, communication is the number one most important thing, but making sure that he's fully happy with all his programming, making sure that he's fully on board with everything, and he knows the standard that I'm going to be holding him to. So buzzing to get that underway. But now it is time for our third meal is currently in the microwave as we speak, so I thought I'd give you a bit of an update. But this meal now is going to be, I'll put a photo on the screen of what the meal is going to be, or what the meal is, and then I'll give you the calorie breakdown. So this meal is 190 grams of uncooked chicken. We have 50 grams of jasmine rice, 100 grams of veg, so 473 calories, 52 protein, 55 carb, 5 gram of dietary fat. So we got this meal going down. We've got my beloved Tabasco sriracha, which is coming to an end, but we'll get some 10 grams of sriracha sauce on top. We got 1.5 grams of salt on this meal. We'll go for a 10-minute walk, and then I've got my next call in an hour. So call at 4, call at 6. We'll do some check-ins in between, and then hopefully chill out for the evening, because my sleep was shocking again last night. I went to bed fairly early, to be fair. I went up to bed to read at like 8 o'clock. Not sure what time I dropped off, but I woke up at 11. I woke up at 1. You know, I was just sat in bed like awake, like thinking, fuck, I can't go down and work now. Like, I'm just going to make myself bad. So I was just laying in bed. I did manage to drop back off, and I was up at 3:30. So yeah, it's shambles at the minute, but I am very, very hungry. 2.5 minutes left in that microwave, can't come quick enough. But we're going to have this meal and then get the walk done and crack back into work. So it is time for our next meal that is currently in the microwave, but I'm just going to stick it on. So this meal is the exact same meal as the meal that I shown you guys just now, to be fair. So what we do have, let me get this to connect on my face. What's going on? There we are. So this meal, what we do have, fuck me. What is going on? There we are. So, right, we're back. Let's have a look. So this meal, guys, is going to be 170 grams of raw weight chicken, 50 rice, 100 greens. And as you know, we're going to be putting 10 grams of Tabasco sriracha on it, and we've got 1.5 grams of pink salt in this meal as well. And then we'll have one more meal after this. In all fairness, I have pushed this meal like further back, like it's 5 p.m. now. I've just got off the call, so I'm actually glad that I'm having the meal now, because what I don't want to do is go to bed very hungry. Like, it's lower food. The last thing that I want to do is eat my final meal at like say 6:30, and then go to bed and just be absolutely ravenous, you know, wake up starving, you know. So ideally I eat this meal now at 5. I'll have my next meal, I would say I'll aim for around 7:30, and then we'll switch off from work and then read some pages and hopefully get a good night's sleep. So I'll put the calories and macro breakdown of this meal. I'll put a photo of the meal as well on the screen. It will look the exact same as the one previously. But this is where, at this point now, I'll probably start to flag. You know, like, work's been absolutely carnage. 4 o'clock in the morning was behind the laptop. I'll get off it tonight just before my last meal at like 7 p.m. You know, we've got another call to have at 6 p.m. with a potential client who wants to get started. So yeah, it's just full steam ahead at the minute. Full steam ahead, but standards will never drop from a work standpoint. Standards will never drop for myself. We just have to double down routine and just make sure that we don't miss. You know, like even little things, like I'm just looking at the kitchen over there. I've got all my supplements already laid out for tomorrow. I got my coffee ready. I've got my electrolytes and creatine ready. I got my Tupperwares ready. You know, just so that when I wake up, I'm limiting the things that I need to think about. In the conservatory down here, I've got my clothes laid out ready for tomorrow, because I will literally wake up, I will come downstairs, I will weigh myself, I'll get changed, and I'll just get straight behind the laptop. I'm not waking up thinking, what am I going to wear? You know, going through the wardrobe half asleep. I'd rather just come down, clothes are there, get changed, get stuck in with work. You know, the more the better I can be from a productivity standpoint, the less stress it will be. So I've just got to make sure that I think ahead and just get everything all up to date. So I'm going to have this meal, we're going to get back into work, and then I'll probably pick you back up as I'm about to go into my last meal, and I'll probably be like this, absolutely fucking shattered. So let's have this meal. I'm absolutely buzzing for it. And that is the last call of the day wrapped up. So it is currently 7:15, and another lad joined the team today, which I'm buzzing for, to be fair. You know, and what I love to see with himself is I can see he was a little bit apprehensive. He has a holiday coming up in 4 weeks' time. So he was thinking about maybe starting when he comes back from the holiday. But he was just like, let's start. Made the investment on the call. He's getting his Q&A form sorted this evening, and I'll get him onboarded by tomorrow night. You know, and this is the thing, like when you sit on things, when you sit on taking action, you just don't. You know, I've seen it countless times, like when I've jumped on calls with people and it's like, oh, I want to get started, but now isn't the right time. I'll do it in like 3 weeks. 3 weeks comes, nothing. You know, not move forward with their physique, still don't take action. And I've seen it 6 months, 9 months, 12 months down the line, people still in the same shoes, you know, and it can be frustrating more than anything, because it's like, you know you can help these people, you know you can help them see a result far quicker, you know. So I'm just buzzing that he started, he's made that leap, you know, he's seen the results on my page. He said that he's fully confident this is a program that will get him the results. He's frustrated that he's not seen the progress that he's wanting to see for the work that he's putting in. So he knows what he needs to do. He needs to take that investment into himself, improve his knowledge, have the support and accountability and guidance from myself. And like I said to him on the call, I'll go above and beyond, mate. I'll make sure that we achieve a result that you didn't believe would be possible. And that is exactly what we're going to do. So I'm going to finish off some work tonight now. I'm going to start editing this YouTube. I want to post 3 videos this week. Today's day in the life eating, tomorrow's day in the life and eating. I've got a training day tomorrow, so I'll show you the nutritional setup for that and probably some training clips, and I'll show you how I'll be looking at the back end of the week when I am carved up. So I'm going to get cracking. It's 7:15, so I'll probably have my last meal in the next 45 minutes. I'll show you that meal and then we'll cap off the video. So let's dive into the next block of work. And that is the final bit of work all wrapped up for the day. And I'm just about to go into my final meal, which, if I give you the calorie breakdown for this meal, what we have is 80 grams of cream of rice. We've got 60 grams of whey, 40 grams of almond butter, and then we've got 100 grams of berries. And then what I'll do, as you know, a little sprinkle of cinnamon on top as well. So I'll put the photo of the meal on the left hand side as well, because it's not made yet. I will be making it, and then I'll just be sitting on the couch and chilling out. And I've also got all of my vitamins in here ready, so I'll just chin these on the head. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch something on TV, try and unwind for half hour and not go on my phone. So I'm going to make the meal, I'm going to enjoy the meal, phone free, off WhatsApp, and then come back out here, finish off editing the YouTube video, and then get that ready to post tomorrow morning. And then we go again tomorrow, guys. We go again tomorrow. So as you can see, it is very repetitive days at the minute. Work, gym, nutrition and repeat. Early starts, late finishes. But we're on a mission. We're on a mission at the minute. And I'm enjoying the routine that it's bringing. So let's go make the final meal. Let's chin these supplements. And let's try and get a good night's sleep tonight. But I'm going to record tomorrow for YouTube. So I will see you guys in the next one, which will be training day on lower food. And it'll be a push day as well. So thank you guys for watching. As always, please like, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you tomorrow.